The women's volleyball season has just gotten underway. 2 weekends into the season. Head coach Courtney Draper joins me now. Coach, we've had 2 weekends of competition. Let's start with that first weekend. It was on the road in Miami, FIU tournament. You guys came out strong, winning the first 2 matches. Tremendous offensive performances. Don't want to single anyone out, but Alexis Heidelberg and Dakota Hampton really seemed to highlight that offensive performance.
They had a great weekend, both of them. Dakota played the all-around game really well, passed well, defensively she played well, and of course you can't ignore the offensive numbers. She really put some balls away for us. And Alexis Heidelberg, a player whose versatility has been really key for our program in her time with us. She can play outside or right side, and spent the first weekend on the outside since we were without Denise Belcher opening weekend. So Alexis did awesome on the outside, and again put up some really nice numbers offensively.
How key is it when you have someone like that that's locked in? In the North Florida match, she had that tremendous hitting percentage when seemingly every touch goes for a kill. How demoralizing is that for the other team, and how big is it for you?
Yeah, I think it just gives our team confidence and momentum that, you know, when she's going to contact the ball, it's likely to be a kill. She was outstanding opening weekend. So
now we come to this past weekend. It was back here in the Corral, the USF Classic. Played 3 very tough teams, and in the opening match against Arkansas State, an unfortunate injury situation. Molly Burkhart, who had been off to a tremendous season, goes down with the injury. How did that affect you in that match and then kind of the rest of the weekend?
It's tough. I mean, Molly's been, our primary quarterback in a 5-1 offense for us, and she's leading the conference in aces, actually. So she's, an offensive threat on the service line. She's one of our key blockers. She's actually a really good hitter as well, and was leading us in assists moving into the weekend. So kind of took the wind out of our team's sail, I feel like, but I was extremely proud of Natalia Soares and Alex Mendoza that they were ready to go, and it's been a little bit of a tough start to the season because, again, opening weekend we didn't have Denise Belcher. Second weekend in the first match, second set, we lose Molly. So, some of those things that where you feel like you're about to get in a groove, and then there's a little hiccup. I'm hoping that we have everybody full strength at least this weekend, if not this weekend, definitely by conference play. So. But yeah, Molly was off to a tremendous start, and we'll be excited to have her back.
So as you mentioned, you haven't been at full strength really for any match this year except for maybe that first set against Arkansas State. Does it give you some confidence or some hope that you played all these teams very competitively this past weekend, even without a full strength squad?
Yeah, I think that says a lot about our team. They're willing to fight, and whatever is thrown at them, they're gonna give everybody the best fight that they have.
Well, let's touch on Denise Belcher, who didn't play that opening weekend, comes back here in her first debut in a USF uniform, and to highlight her performance against Missouri, 20 kills to lead the team. I know you expected a lot from her. Is that everything you expected?
And then some, yeah. She was tremendous for us. Kind of like Alexis in the first weekend, where everything she touched was almost a kill. Took some great swings, and just a really impressive performance by her. I'm very proud of her. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for more from Denise opening weekend. I will say our back row performance, Wiley Devlin, has been tremendous all season. She's averaging over 5 digs a set. She's 3rd in the conference in digs. Our offense couldn't be doing what they're doing without her passing and defensive ability, as well as Nikki Colville. Nikki is a freshman for us. She's only playing 3 rotations, but digging a ton of balls and really doing a great job in the back row for us there as well.
We did highlight the offensive performance, but yeah, as you mentioned, Wiley Devlin just named to the conference honor roll this week for her performance over this last weekend. When we come back, we'll talk to another player who's off to a hot start, sophomore Jolie Holland, after this on the Courtney Draper Show.
Once again, Tampa General Hospital is proud to be named the #1 hospital in Tampa Bay by U.S. News & World Report, and recognized as one of America's best hospitals in 4 specialties: cardiology and heart surgery, nephrology, orthopedics, and urology. #1 in Tampa Bay, again, and one of America's best. Tampa General Hospital. Trusted for our expertise, chosen for our care.
Welcome back to the Courtney Draper Show. We're joined now by sophomore middle blocker Jolie Holland. And Jolie, for you, at the start of your sophomore year here, what's been the difference from freshman to sophomore year?
The difference between my freshman and sophomore year is definitely, I feel like our offense has speed up a lot. We run a nice tempo offense. Not only does it make it a lot easier for me to put balls down a lot efficiently, but it opens up for our pens so they can also be one-on-one to swing as well.
And now coming into your sophomore year, you've had that full off season to kind of train, to try to work out here. What's been kind of your training regimen, or what did you work on in this past off season?
Off season, I was working on speed and also just fastening up my arm swing, putting a nice wrist snap on the ball. That way the ball can find the floor a lot quicker. It's a lot harder ball to defend, and also with being a lot faster, again, it does open up for my pin hitters so they can run a faster tempo offense as well.
Let's talk about your role defensively. As a middle blocker, I'm sure it's so important to communicate with everyone up on that front row. So what are you kind of saying when you're there defensively?
When I'm up there, I read out all the hitters that might be hitting at the time, if the setter is up or down, meaning if she's back row or front row, so that they know if she can jump and hit or tip the ball over on the net. That's something our defense does pick up, but that needs to be communicated so they know that that's an option for them, as well as like saying if they're stacked in a certain servicey, what possible play might be going. So if they stack all their hitters on one side, it's pretty likely that the hitter is going to run behind the setter and hit a slide. That's something that my left side hitter needs to be aware of. Or they might run a 2 up the middle, and that's something that I would need to tell my right or left side pin, because depending on where the ball is floating, that's where they would need to help out on the block.
So an important role for you defensively. You mentioned now on offense, kind of the arm swing that you worked on. When a play is run for you, when you're up there and you're going to be in the offensive role, what's going through your mind?
Being up, just literally being up and being ready to hit. Of course, yes, I'm up and ready to hit, but sometimes it's just like a decoy. I want to say it's like I'm up and ready to hit, but if the ball doesn't come my way, it's to open up for their pins so they can be one-on-one, which leaves a wide open court for them to swing, and generally they always put the ball down. So,
We're still early on in the season. You've had 2 weekends of play. Now you're coming into another weekend where you're going to go on the road, then you come back for some tough competition. This past weekend, you guys were really close in all of those matches. How do you build off that going into this upcoming weekend?
Well, building off that, I feel like, obviously we just got to stay together as a team. I feel like we were so close, and with that game, some of these games, like with Mizzou, the ball could have fell either way. It was just both teams were battling, both teams wanted it very bad. It was just almost like a matter of luck, just a little bit of, what grace of what the ref might call, or, the serve that might trickle over the net, and there's no really defense to cover that. So, but we're right there. I'm so excited going into this next weekend and for conference play. I believe we're going to be great.
Well, that's sophomore Jolie Holland. When we come back with Coach after this on the Courtney Draper Show.
Looking for an individual or family health care plan? Or maybe a dental policy? Look no further than the Tampa Florida Blue Centers in West Shore, Carrollwood, and Pinellas Park. For more information, go to floridablue.com or call the number on the screen.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Well, Coach, we just talked with sophomore Jolie Holland, and she has been a tremendous presence for you in the middle. One of only 2 players to have played in every set this season. What has she done for you so far that has been such a big impact?
She's been great on the offensive side and defensive side. As long as we're passing well enough to get her the ball, I feel like we're going to be really successful. Her versatility across the net has been great. She hits a 1, a 3, a slide, all sets pretty consistently well. So it's hard for our opponent to defend her because she is so versatile and she's good at so many different things offensively. And as far as defensively, she is our strongest blocker right now, and she's really just doing a great job controlling the net and being a great leader in the middle, since we are so young in the middle with just 2 freshmen and 1 sophomore in the middle. So she really is the leadership of that position.
Well, let's talk about that group of middle blockers as a whole. It seems very balanced for you just across the board.
Yes, Clara Payne is a great option for us. Bridget Lococo had a huge breakout weekend this weekend. Hit over a 300, blocking about a ball a game. She had 10 kills against Missouri, and again, she's just a freshman, so the physicality piece isn't off the charts yet, but I think she's just going to continue to grow and get better.
So you're going on the road again, upcoming this weekend, but before we talk about that, how about the fan support this past weekend here in the home opener? This place was packed in the crowd.
It was awesome. The fans mean the world to us. Lots of our players' families were here, but we also had tons of students. Great support from our administration, other coaches, other sports teams. So it's really exciting, and it really gives our players an extra boost. It's almost like having a 7th man on the court.
Now you're going on the road to Nebraska to play a Nebraska team that's very good, some other teams that'll be good there. In these matches this past weekend, everyone was very competitive. You were there in every set. What do you have to do now to just kind of get over that cliff and win?
Yeah, our staff has talked a lot about this because we're so concerned about what the other team is doing and how to slow them down, but really it's so much more about our team and our kids and what they can do well to be successful. So it's really just all about us and playing the best volleyball that we can.
So the volleyball team is on the road again this weekend. You can catch them in action September 19th and 20th. Going to be a big weekend. On September 19th, Auburn and Penn State come here, and then Florida A&M to cap off the weekend. Thanks for watching this edition of the Courtney Draper Show.